Welcome to the studio. Max here. We have we got something. Welcome to the studio. Max here. We are at the end of the year. We are going to go over pricing for Marvel minifigures from Lego. And a few rules before we get into this. We are going to be doing minifigures and big figs only. There is a couple of categories on Bricklink that I go through to try to find Marvel figures. Every Marvel minifigure is under the Marvel Comics and it has an SH number with it for superheroes. There's also the Tobey Maguire category that has an SPD for it. That is a separate category. They are not listed in this particular group. They just have a different part number. So we're going to relegate our search to the Marvel Comics superhero category on Bricklink. Also, there's going to be no Comic-Con figures on this list. They are insanely priced. We'll never be able to afford them. They can stay there. All of our pricing is going to be off of Bricklink in US dollars and how you can afford it here in the US. Prices fluctuate from country to country. Typically over in Europe, you're going to have a little less expensive adventure trying to get your minifigures, but this is in the US. They're a little bit more expensive, and the price can fluctuate each day. People can put on a minifigure at a pretty low price, but we're looking for one that you can buy right now at the time that we did this video and see how much they cost compared to other minifigures. They are all listed as new. We're not looking at any used, like ones with damage or things like that. So we're trying to stick with just new Marvel minifigures. I was actually pretty surprised going through the pricing from last year to this year. I really thought inflation was going to jack up prices on a lot of things, and I don't think it did. We're going to get into those numbers here in a minute, but I want to talk about a few figures here that we already have and the changes that they went to from last year to this year. On the left, we have She-Hulk and Ronan the Accuser, and She-Hulk was on the list last year, but she should not have been. I missed Ronan. He was $59 and She-Hulk was $51, so he would have been on that list and knocked She-Hulk off. So I had to give Ronan a little conversation here. He is going to miss the list again this year. He went up a couple dollars. He was very close on making the list, but he's not going to make it again. But still, a fantastic minifigure. I really like the look of him, but he's going to miss it again this year. On the right side, we have three minifigures. So Spider-Man Noir, we have Magneto, and we have Yondu. And I want to mention these just because these three figures, going through the whole list of almost 600 minifigures, these have gone up the most in value. Magneto last year was around $20. He was listed at $19.95, and he went up $36.90 in value. Right now, if you want to buy him, he's around $56.85. So he skyrocketed in price. And Spider-Man Noir, he was only $15.99 last year, and he went up 29 bucks. He's up to $44.99 now, and it's just the increase in prices was really impressive with these. Yondu went up by about $15. He was originally $40, and he's gone up to about $55. So just some big jumps there with these three minifigures. There were some other ones that had gone up and down. We're not going to get into a lot of those, but these were just three that I really noted that really jumped in value. I can see why Magneto and Spider-Man Noir did. Yondu, maybe because of the Guardians movie, he got a little bit jump up there. But the X-Men coming out, Magneto definitely, and then Spider-Man 2 across the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Noir went up with that one too, I believe, just from some good movies coming out. So that's pretty exciting. So we're going to start taking a look at our top 10 most expensive minifigures from 2023. And we're also going to take a look at minifigures that got knocked off the list and ones that were added on. All right, we have 4 minifigures that went off the list. I know I have 5 here. She-Hulk technically shouldn't have been on there, and it should have been Ronan. So I'm just going to show all 5 here. But She-Hulk, Ronan, Hela, Drax, and Quicksilver all got knocked out of the top 10. She-Hulk shouldn't have been on there anyway, but we'll get into that. Her value, the reason I have her up here, it has gone down the most out of a lot of the minifigures. She was at $51 last year, and you can get her around $38 right now. So that's about 13 bucks that has gone down. Going through the list, I haven't seen any other minifigures that really went down that much. Most of them either stayed the same or went up or down. So it's kind of tough to see that. But with the TV show getting terrible reviews, ratings, all that, I could see people not really wanting this. We also had the She-Hulk come out in the collectible minifigures, so that might take some of the sting off of trying to get this. So if you're looking for the older She-Hulk, the value has gone down from last year to this year. So you can pick that up. Hella went down just about $1. Drax went down about $5 or $6. He was 55, went down to 49. And then Quicksilver went down about $8, maybe at $10, I do believe. So he was at 70 and he went down to 60. So Quicksilver was one of my favorites. He still is. I really like this minifigure, but he did go down in value. So that'll knock him off the list. There are the ones that have been removed. Now let's get into our top 10, and we're going to take a look at 3 quick ones. We're just going to throw 3 on here really fast. All right, first 3 is Red Hulk, Kraven the Hunter, and Tony Stark. Red Hulk is SH370, Kraven the Hunter is SH270, and Tony Stark is SH850. They are all at $65. Red Hulk is $64.99, but still, $65 in the end. So these 3 are number 10, 9, and 8. I had Red Hulk at number 10 just because he was missing that penny there, but those are our first 3 most expensive minifigures at our 10, 9, and 8 spot. Kraven the Hunter is probably jumping up the most out of this bunch, and he has a movie coming out, so depending on how that movie goes, his value might even go up more. So this might be a good investment to take a look at, picking up Kraven the Hunter. Right now he's sitting around at $65. Last year he was at $40, so he has picked up about 25 bucks in value. Red Hulk last year was $65, so he stayed about the same. Tony Stark did not have any listings. He came out at the end of the year, and there was just no listings in the U.S. for him. I was expecting around $100 for him last year, so he ended up sitting around $65, which is not bad considering the size of the set that he came in. So I am somewhat happy with that I was able to pick him up for a pretty good price. I didn't get the actual Hulkbuster set. I just picked up the minifigure. So that is one that I still need to get. Still looking for some good deals in that set. But these are number 10, 9, and 8. All right, number 7 on the list is the Space Iron Man. His number is SH229. Previously on the last year, he was sitting at the number 3 spot. So he's dropped down to number 7. He was $74.99 last year. This year you can pick him up for around $70. So the lowest one right now on Bricklink to get in the US new is $70. This is definitely a top favorite minifigure for me, at least a top 10. I really enjoy this minifigure. He gets a good display in the Lego room, but just down about $5 in value from last year to this year. So he's looking pretty good. I like him. Here we have Drax. He was in the number 9 spot. He is now in the number 6 spot. And this Drax, his number on Bricklink is SH125. And the year before, he was $54.98. And he has jumped up to $73. So if you want to get this guy new, his value has gone up pretty well. And he has the Ravager garb on. This is just a really good looking minifigure. When I did this last year, I was surprised that both Drax had made the list. But here he is. He's gone up a couple spots at number 6. That is Drax at $73. All right, we're into the top 5 now. And staying in the same position is Silver Centurion. He is SH232. He came in a poly bag with a game that you had to get. So he's pretty difficult to get. But he has the most printing of a minifigure for the longest time. Once the collectible minifigures came out, they had quite a few that had printing on all sides, but he, for the longest time, had the record for that. Even with Star Wars figures, he was the only one that had printing pretty much everywhere you can put on a minifigure. So that's really what has kicked his value up, I do believe. But last year he was in the 5 spot. This year he's in the 5 spot. Last year he was $67.50, and this year he has gone up to $77, putting him in at number 5. Now, the top 5 list has stayed the same, kind of. We've had some minifigures move around, up or down, but we've had 2 that creeped into the top 5. So let's get into number 4. All right, number 4 is Spider-Man 2099. I thought he was going to be a top 10 last year, but he didn't even really come close to making the cut. But he is number 4. His number is SH539. His value really kicked up thanks to the movie that came out where he was the villain, and it looked really good in that movie. So, and the print on here was pretty close to the movie also, so I'm glad that they kept it that way. Last year he was $39.95, and he's gone up to $79.99. So if you want to get him brand new right now, he has doubled in value. So a really good minifigure to invest in from last year to this year. If anyone picked up a couple, he looks fantastic. He comes in at number 4, and now we're getting into our top 3. All right, number 3, the third most expensive minifigure, was the number 1 for last year. Scarlet Spider has dropped to the 3rd spot. The number for that one is SH274. Last year, Scarlet Spider was $82.91. It's gone up about $1.09. So he's up to $84 now. And that's Scarlet Spider at the number 3 spot. Dropped from number 1 down to number 3. So we've had some stuff kind of kick up there. Let's take a look at the next 2. Number 2 is Deadpool. His number is SH032, and this was one that I was also surprised it was not in the top 10 last year, but had just missed the cut. Last year, Deadpool, you get him new around this time of year for $49.99. This year, $89.95. So he's gone up substantially in value, kicks him up to number 2. I think he's got a lot of good things going for him. Got a nice looking movie that's going to be coming out hopefully soon. If Ryan Reynolds and all of them can get that going. So we appreciate everything they're doing. A lot of hard work in that movie. A lot of circumstances that has delayed things, but they are working extremely hard. We appreciate everything they do. But Deadpool is one of my favorites. I'm glad he's up to number 2 now. Just a fantastic minifigure, and there's just, I could talk about him all day long. But we've got to get to number 1. Let's see who that is. All right, number 1 is the Iron Patriot gun mounting system suit. Just the minifigure is now $95, brand new if you want to get him in the U.S. He comes in a poly bag with his gun mounting system, so I have all of it there. But last year, he was sitting at $80.99. I do believe he was in the number 2 spot last year. He has moved up to number 1. One of my favorite minifigures. Really hard to get him. He was had to buy the video game to get him. So that's what makes him a little bit more rare. But he has gone up about $14 to make him up to $95. So that is the top 10 most expensive minifigures. And we're going to take a look and crunch some numbers and see how inflation has been handled this past year. I was expecting a lot of stuff to go up just with businesses trying to handle the cost of things, and I was surprised that just at the numbers. So let's go over a few of those real quick. All right, finishing up the year, it looks like about 70% of the minifigures have gone up in value. So there are about 540 total, and most of those have gone up it's either 1 penny or 20 bucks. If it went up in value, I counted it. That's about 30% though that have gone down in value. So that's kind of surprising with our economy and businesses trying to keep afloat and make money. So I was kind of expecting everything to kind of go up a little bit rather than just maybe 2/3 of them. So just some interesting stuff there that I find that's interesting. That is going to do it for our top 10 most expensive minifigures for 2023. See you guys later.